Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending what time you're watching this next video from me, Avomance. And I want to talk to you about the upcoming combat update. Now, I know that this has been out for a couple of days now, but I like to digest things before I comment on them, and I've got a few things that I'd like to say about it. There are some really interesting updates. If you go onto the recent Reddit post that was put on there by the one and only Jeb, it gives a little bit of detail about the background of why they think they should be changing the combat mechanics. And then if you go onto the wiki page, and this is where I've found out most of the information, this tells you what the changes are, but I'm going to go through those with you right now. In previous versions of the game, each weapon and tool had a specific value for attack speed and attack damage. Now, attack speed is how quickly you can hit someone, how quickly you can bash them over the head or poke them up the bum. And attack damage is how much damage you do to that entity when you give them a right good poke. Now, depending on what tool you use and what weapon you use will depend on what the values are. If we look at hoes first, now ordinarily you wouldn't think a hoe was particularly dangerous, but a hoe has an attack speed of 2, so it's relatively quick, but relatively poor attack damage when it's wooden. But you'll notice it's got this new value, attack reach. That is how far away from the thing that you want to give a bash to you can be by actually bashing them. So 4 blocks away with a hoe you can be, and that is pretty amazing. The old version, it was 1 attack speed and 1 attack damage for a wooden hoe. It was 2 attack speed and 1 attack damage for a stone hoe, 3 attack speed and 1 attack damage for an iron hoe. It was 1 and 1 for a gold hoe, and it was 4 and 1, so quite quick, but rubbish damage for a diamond hoe. So the diamond hoe slowed down a bit, but the damage has gone quite a lot up. All of a sudden, diamond hoes have a use. If we look at picks, previously a pick was 1.2 attack speed and 2 attack damage, so wooden picks have been properly buffed. It was 1.2, in fact all of the picks were 1.2 with 3 attack damage, so the stone's been buffed. 5 attack damage versus 4 for the iron. It's now got 3 attack damage, it was 2 for the gold. And it was 5 attack damage and now 6. They've added 1 damage point for each different type of pick. And also the pickaxe has become a relatively credible tool. So when you're down mining, you can actually use it as a weapon without having to switch to your sword if you're in a bit of a spot. Looking at axes, now axes are generally a very good weapon. They've got wooden attack speed, 0.8 attack speed, but 7 attack damage. It's been sped up, but the damage dropped. The stone, it's been sped up a little bit, 0.8 was what it used to be, now it's 2, and 7 damage rather than 9. This used to be 9, it is now 8, but the attack speed has sped up, it was 0.9. This used to be 1 and 7, it's now 2 and 6. So actually the golden axe is more effective now. So you can actually get 12 damage in 2 hits rather than just 7. And you've got the diamond, which has doubled its speed and has kept the same attack damage. It was 9, it still is, but it's twice as fast. Really useful weapon is the diamond axe now, really quite scary. And then if you look at swords, which most people think is the best weapon, it's not actually the case. A wooden sword used to be 1.6 attack speed and 4 attack damage. It's now 3 attack speed, which is much faster, and 5 attack damage, and it's got this attack reach. We'll talk about attack reaches on the others in a moment. This has got 3 and 6. It used to be 1.6 and 5. This has got 3 and 7, used to be 1.6 and 6. This has got 3 and 5, used to be 1.6 and 4. And this has got 3 and 8, used to be 1.6 and 7, all of them with an attack reach of 3.5. So you can see actually these weapons have been sped up significantly, which is more of a walk back into the past where you could spam the button really fast and be able to hit people, and the person with the fastest finger generally won. This isn't quite the case here, but it is moving in that direction. You've also got the trident. It used to be 1.1 attack speed and 9 attack damage. It's now 2 attack speed, nearly twice as fast, 7 attack damage, but 4 attack reach. You can reach a pretty long way with a trident. One other change is the sweeping edge feature. Within this update, you will never get sweeping edge unless you have got the sweeping edge enchantment. You see, I'm hitting these creepers with my wooden sword. They are just not getting any sweeping edge. If I put the sweeping edge enchantment on, bang, all of a sudden it is back. But if I go back to my other one, it's still just individual creepers getting hit. I actually approve of this. It makes more sense. Otherwise, what's the value of the enchantment? Also, you can only get the sweeping edge enchantment when your sword is 200% charged. So that is double the time that it takes to be able to spam hit. I also approve of that because that means you can't just hit loads of them by spamming. It's a much better system. We're going to play with hitting distances. So this creeper is blooming miles away from us at the moment. And we're going to see if we can't hit him with this hoe. We are 4 blocks away. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away from this. Can we hit him with this hoe? Yes, we can. Can we hit him with the trident? Yes, we can. This guy's going to die any second. Can we hit him with the sword? No, we cannot. Can we hit him with a wooden axe? No, you can see it's quite slow. Can we hit him with the pickaxe? No, we can't. So we need to edge forward ever so slightly by crouching. Can we hit him yet? Not quite. There we go. So we are now, look, 3.5 blocks away. Can I hit him with a wooden axe? No, I cannot. Can I hit him with a pickaxe? No, I can't. I wonder how close we've got to be for these guys. Can I hit him with an axe now? Can I hit him with an axe now? No, we're getting close. There we go, and it's killed him. And I reckon we are 1, 2, 3 blocks away. We're just going to look at the attack speeds now. I've got the hoe in my hand and I'm going to spam click. And ordinarily in a lower, I've got quite a fast finger. So if I spam click, I'm spam clicking at least 3 times faster than this hoe is moving. And you can see it's only going at that particular speed. If I just keep my finger down, that's it. That's me just pressing the finger down, basically holding it down AFK style. It does exactly the same. Now, I don't mind the fast finger element of this at all, but what I'm not mad keen on is this holding the finger down lock. Because what that means, you could just bind your key to have your attack damage finger pressed and then just keep running around. It's going to mean you're going to have no problem defeating any of the bits and pieces that you're trying to bash. And as a result, I think that takes away from the game. If I switch to the trident, you can see it's about the same speed as the hoe. If I switch the sword, it's significantly quicker. You can see that. If I switch to the axe, slower than the sword. And if I switch to the pick, that is quite quick too. So all in all, what do I think of this suggested update? More or less, almost everything I like very much. I'm not a great PvP player, so therefore being able to click a little faster does actually benefit me. It means the edge of these very talented 1.10 upwards PvPers takes off a little bit when they're fighting me, and I think that's a good thing, although I tend to try and stay a long distance away with my bow and Katniss them to death as much as I can. The only thing I'm really not happy with is the holding the button down. I think that takes away, and it wouldn't be terrible if they remove that from the game. Shovels also have these values. I didn't talk about those, but they're relatively rubbish, but you can use them as a weapon and it does work, and they have been buffed ever so slightly. And the other thing to note is that shields, when you have a shield, if you do a critical hit by jumping and hitting them as you come down, that actually bypasses the shield. I'm unsure how I feel about that. Shields are something I've only just discovered and I quite like them. If you have enjoyed this video, let me know what you think about this combat update in the comments below. It'd be great to know what your opinions are and also what I might have left out. Be great to see if you've liked this video, smack that like button and I'll keep on making these investigations. And finally, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. Be great to see it in my sub club and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye. I'm spam clicking.